We here, we here, we here. It's your boy Chicklet. But today we going by my real name. For those who don't know, it's Steven. It's a little more serious convo today than you guys are used to seeing me. I did a story on my Instagram about me being a year sober from alcohol. And a lot of people were intrigued. I got a lot of feedback that people are going through it. And, you know, the story only lives for 24 hours. And people was like, post it, post it, post it. And I'm like, you know what? I want to get into a little more detail about it, about the struggle, about how real it is. I know a lot of us don't think it's real because of how normal it is. But this year showed me a completely different version of me that I haven't seen in a while or even remembered that this version was there. And it's so crazy because it's only a year of not drinking. Like just 1 year could change so much. And the further, I feel like every month I'm getting excited because it's like, what I'm gonna learn this month, you know? So that's why we're here today. I'm gonna just get right from the beginning of when I noticed that it started to become a problem. And on the story, I didn't talk about the beforehand, but here we'll get to it, you know? So I realized so I've been drinking since 16. Let's start from there. 16 years old. I remember even going to high school. So I bring the water bottle to school, right, full of alcohol. One time I went to school with a water bottle full of alcohol, right? And at that time, it wasn't even because I liked drinking. That was just to be down. And look what I did. I brought this in. I'm going to be lit at school. So I want to say my drinking kind of started from right there. And, you know, and being on the block with other friends that was into drinking and partying. And it was just to have a good time. It didn't mean anything at that time. It was just, you know, this is what a good time means. And I think that's where a lot of people get lost with the alcohol. Since everybody does it, it's okay. But I don't think people realize the toll it takes after a while of doing it. And I'm here to explain, and maybe you'll see a version of me that you're like, holy shit, I went through this, or I'm going through this right now. I didn't even know it was because of the alcohol, because that's exactly what happened. So I want to say the first time I noticed, not even noticed, I'm just going to start here. I went to a basketball game. Shiggy was throwing this basketball game, celebrity basketball game. You guys come play. And I had this weird feeling of like anxiety. I didn't know it was anxiety at the time, but like my leg started to like, I guess fell asleep. I guess I wasn't moving and fell asleep. And I started to overthink that. I guess I didn't notice it fell asleep. And I started to overthink that. Like I was like, yo, what if my legs give out right here, right now, while I'm playing in front of all these people? And I started going to this such, to me at the time, crazy thought that I left the game before it started. No, I'm lying. I left first quarter. I left first quarter because I started panicking and I got overwhelmed. And at this time, I never experienced anxiety on that level. I did have panic attacks before that, but it was a while without it. To this time, it was confusing to why I was having these extra thoughts. So I get home. I'm supposed to go out that night. I end up going out with Maleni, and I'm nervous. I'm so nervous. I'm just freaking out. And then I started to drink. And I noticed when I was drinking, everything went away. The nervousness, the feeling my legs, because I still had that feeling. It all went away. It all went away at that moment. So it started becoming where I was aware of when I drink that it wasn't there. This is, I want to say, February of 2019. And I want to say in April, I tried to quit drinking because I didn't want to depend on alcohol to get rid of this anxiety. So in April, I took a break from drinking. And then of 2019, then July comes. I try to take another break. No, I failed. I failed in April. I failed. I think I stopped for like 5 days, then picked it up again. And in July. I went the whole July. I think I went 29 days or 30 days. I didn't go the full month. And I stopped and I started writing down. I was going through my notes today and I had, oh, today I still feel anxiety. Today I'm jittery. Today I'm this. Today I'm that. And then I went on a trip. I got to reverse. The reason, I got to go back. So in March, I start noticing the anxieties disappearing. I'm just catching up real quick. So then moving forward after that, I kept drinking to get rid of the anxiety. And then I start becoming aware of it. I'm becoming aware that I'm doing this. Like, I don't think this is good. You're depending on something to get rid of this anxiety, right? So then I go on this trip to Barbados. And this is my first time dealing with this problem. I drink over there as an all-inclusive. I'm drinking over there. And one night, I'm in the bathroom. And I'm in the bathroom nervous. Using it, I have stomach problems. I couldn't go to sleep. I'm having nightmares every time I go to sleep. I'm jittery. I'm mad nervous in this bathroom. This is the first time I started experiencing this kind of anxiety. And, we continued the vacation. This continues to happen, this problem. I drink the next day again. And as I'm at the airport, it was a group of people. It was an event that they booked me over there for. And it was actually police officers. It was an event for police officers. So I'm at the airport nervous again. I'm feeling the same way again. And I start telling one of the police officers. He goes, I think you're having withdrawals. And I'm like, what? How can I have withdrawals? So I start Googling withdrawals, right? And I noticed all the symptoms that I have were literally withdrawals. Anxiety, nervous, jittery, nightmares, shaking, bad thoughts, just all those things that were going wrong with me. And guess what? Me now figuring out there was a reason why I felt that way made it okay for me to drink again in my head. Because now when I went through those symptoms, I didn't think it was something else that, oh, maybe I need to go to the hospital and check this out. Or maybe I made it okay. Like as soon as I was going through that again, I would be like, oh, this is just from drinking. I'll be all right. Just, like it didn't scare me no more. Even though going through those things were terrible, it just didn't put a fear in me anymore. So I made it okay to continue with drinking. And when I did the story, there was a bunch of people like, what were you drinking? I don't have these problems. What are you doing? I don't do drugs. I don't even smoke because I don't like the way it makes me feel. I don't do any of that. I think what happened was the transition of me drinking from a teenager and for me drinking when I had this certain amount of money. As if we go to a bar, you can only drink up to what your pockets can hold. So, you get lit and it's like, oh, I can't afford it. Or this would be dumb to get another drink. I'll be breaking the bank. Once I could afford to drink as much as I wanted, that's when this level of anxiety and started taking over and changed the course of what drinking was for me, actually. And what made it better, because it was better, that other people drank too. This wasn't something that I was doing alone. I did do it alone, but it was other people going through the same exact feelings I was going through. They're drinking with me. Me and one of my boys, if we had a gallon of liquor, we was finishing that night. I think I was the only one in my circle that noticed it. I think some people aren't aware that those feelings are not normal. And they just learn to deal with it. Like, yo, this is just me and I have anxiety. I was kind of aware of this feeling and I'm like, this isn't normal. This is not normal. Some people learn which I was learning, and I did learn to just be okay with it. Like, yo, if I drink, this is just what comes with it. Who cares? I feel better in that moment, and I feel better until You know, there was moments of rage. There was moments of me saying stuff that I didn't mean. Moments of physical altercations with people outside in the it just got really bad. And you don't notice that's bad because literally everybody has that story. Oh, when I drink, I get tough. Oh, when he drinks, he gets tough. Oh, when he drinks, he does this. So it just became so normal, you know, like even the mistakes were normal for people. They didn't see it as a problem. For me, even people seeing me do stupid stuff were like, oh yeah, that's just him. He's just drunk. Oh, I did the same thing last week when I got drunk. So it became so normal in just society. I feel like this is not just a me thing that goes through this. That's why I wanted to get up on here and just talk my shit. Because if you're going through this, trust me, this is not the route you want to stay in, at least. And trying to go down the timeline perfectly fine, you know, because COVID hit. Of course, drinking was a thing there and then. This is all you could do. I mean, it's all I knew. And it's literally all you could do. I think even during COVID, I tried to stop, though. If I'm not mistaken, I ended up stopping during COVID, and I was addicted to soda. And I had to find something to replace soda with because I'm like, oh, this can't be a good habit either. So I replaced it with sparkling water. I started making myself like sparkling water. So people were like, oh, I hate sparkling water. How you do it? Yeah, if I was able to drink liquor, which liquor is disgusting, I could drink sparkling water. That was my thought with it. You know, if I could take a shot right now and this is gross, and then of course, guess what? I failed again. Some people don't know that this was 3 years of trying to quit. Because in 2019, I definitely wanted to quit. And in 2020, definitely wanted to quit. 2021, definitely wanted to quit. 2022, definitely wanted to quit. And what changed was the ending of 2022. I would say I went through something that's personal, with family and stuff like that. And I got really, really drunk. And when I used to get really, really drunk, I would wake up drunk and I would tell myself, okay, you got to keep drinking today so you can stay awake today and be functional. And that was a huge mistake because that was stupid because drinking makes you less functional. So I had this night of drinking, and the next day we had a concert that we was invited to go to. And I was wobbly, you know. In my head, only people that knew me knew I was drunk. And if they didn't know me, I wasn't. They wouldn't be able to tell. So I'm at this concert really, really drunk, wobbling, still drinking there. And we get invited upstairs, like backstage. And as soon as we got up there, nothing crazy happened. But Maleni started noticing me wobbling off, and she thought I could make a fool of myself, so we got up out of there. We left. It was her decision to leave. And I remember everything, but my body just couldn't stay focused and function. And Maleni was so embarrassed that we had to leave that's when it started to hit me. That's when it really started to hit me that this is something I got to quit doing. This is not just affecting me, it's affecting people around me. And for those who know me, know I care more about the people around me, and I think than kind of myself, in a way, which during the sober trip changed. I'm just telling y'all the negatives, you know, just brief of the negatives, just to see if y'all relate and could see, you know, a little bit of themselves and who I was. So this was November. December, I quit drinking. The whole month. I went to Vegas, all inclusive, free drinks everywhere. I didn't drink. I went to another party. After that was open bar, didn't drink. And in January, I want to say like 1st, like not even New Year's I drank. I want to say the day after, like, you know, the day of New Year's, I started to drink again. And I don't think, and I started, I definitely, no, it took over again. Started to drink in January, and I remember in February, Super Bowl weekend, the day before the Super Bowl, I got drunk. And then I was still lit the next day, the day of the Super Bowl. And guess what I did? Continued to drink. I drank through the whole Super Bowl. I was lit by myself at a bar, just drinking. I ended up in one of my boys' house that I haven't spoken to in a long time because, you build that kind of courage to speak. And I went to his house and like, yo, why you don't talk to me no more? And I started, and he was also under the influence. So we got into, not it happened, but we got into this whole conversation. And we started bringing up old people. And I started talking so negatively about certain people. And I was the toughest guy in the world, right? This is all going to make sense. Fast forward to March. It's my mom's birthday weekend. And I'm drinking. And I'm drinking. I'm drinking. I'm drinking. I'm more drunk than everybody else. To the point where my mom stopped putting liquor in my drink and started just giving me, juice with nothing in it. And I was just there chugging it like if it was alcohol. And that night, I could not sleep. That night, I couldn't sleep. I was stuck on the toilet. The jitteriness was happening again. The nightmares was happening all this night. And I wrote a letter to myself on my notes while sitting there going through this about all the cons that drinking was happening to me. It's crazy because I remember that moment for me was so real. That was March 5th in the night, the morning, 3 in the morning, March 5th. So March 4th's night time. And I wrote this letter to myself, and writing the letter and seeing all the issues I was having, just put it there like, for real. So then what I started doing was Googling, why do I keep drinking if I know I should stop? Mind you, going through all of this process of drinking and stuff like this, and I was ruining relationships, even though I still to this day feel like certain people had a part where the relationships were ruined, but I can understand my fault now, and I was never taking into accountability how much destruction I was causing for them too. Like, I never looked at anybody else's perspective, only mine. The drinking made me feel like it was me. They're wrong, I'm right. And they say the truth comes out when you're drunk. I disagree. I think your ego comes out when you're drunk. I think it's your whole ego. It's not even you. It's a whole different persona. There was stuff I was saying. I was the toughest guy in the world that I would never do sober. Never in my life, do sober. But anyways, I went back to Google and I saw this research saying the reason you know to quit drinking but you continue to drink is because your brain is protecting you. Something like that. I was like, how the hell is my brain protecting me if I don't want to do this anymore? And this is hurting me. And it was because you like doing it. That your body and your brain's job is to keep you happy. And they noticed that you was happy when you drank. So it's pushing you to do that because that makes you happy. It's kind of like you ever hate going to the gym and you're like, oh, I could just sit down here, and you stay sitting down. It's your body, like your brain, keeping you away from something you hate. Literally, I hate doing this, so let's keep you away from it. Let's keep him happy. He likes doing this. Let's keep him happy. And that was the article that I read that I was like, nah, I got to fight through this. I want this to be the reason why I'm happy, not this. Let's change my brain around. Let's switch it up. No, this is not right. And that's when March 5th, I stopped drinking, right? And the first month to me was the easiest because of the way my body felt. Like I said, my body's disgusting right now. And I've done a month before. Second month, pretty easy because my body kind of felt the same. The third month is when I was like, I started to feel the difference. I started to feel the clarity. I started to notice things about myself that wasn't right, which was the ego. But that's when it got scary, though, the not drinking. Because you think the longer you don't drink, the easier it gets. Because I'm telling myself, hey, I stopped for 3 months. Hey, I stopped for 4 months. If I just start going down this bad hole again, I could just stop for 4 months again. So that was, I mean, even now, that's still the tough part of not drinking. And I want to say about August, so March to August. August is when I started to like feel lost. I think I was breaking away from this old me. And, drinking, August I started realizing how much I drank to suppress feelings, which I never thought I did. I thought I just drank because it was something to do. But I started having emotions and feeling emotions. And I was like, holy shit, this is what it feels like to notice what you're doing that's wrong. This is what it feels like to get into an argument and see that this other person's not crazy. To see that you do play a part in why they feel the way they do. Holy shit, this is what it's like to feel bad about somebody. I even spoke to my fiance, Maleni, and I was like, yo, I'm sorry, but a new version of me is coming. Oh, no, I said, I'm sorry. I feel lost right now. So if I'm giving you any mood swings is happening in your head where I'm acting different, where I'm acting... If any mood swings where I'm acting different or I'm, I'm just off to you. I'm just not the same to you. It has nothing to do with you. This is all me. I'm going through something right now. I'm learning to deal with these things now. And honestly, look, the next month, September 7th, I proposed. I don't think I would have ever proposed if I didn't stop drinking. I don't think I would have ever proposed if I didn't stop drinking. Because I was so lost in the habit or in the ego. I really think it's ego. That I was like, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to sacrifice something? Why do I have to? I was so much about me. Meanwhile, I'm this person saying I'm so much for everybody else. But until I had to sacrifice for everybody else, I did not want to do it. I didn't want to do it. I started realizing the cycles I was causing. That, I started realizing the reality that your brain creates the reality that you believe in. I don't know if that makes sense to certain people. But I'm going to put an example. I always thought people only reach out to me when they need money. And I'll be tight. Like, yo, I just gave you, let's say $500 yesterday. I just gave you $500 yesterday. I just gave you $500 yesterday. Why today you need the money? And if I tell you no, you're going to be tight with me. You know why? And I had this conversation with one of my boys, and they was like, yeah, but they should know not to ask you for the bread. But I was like, how do you know that when I'm giving it? Right? Like, I didn't mind giving the money until they needed it. Until they actually needed it. That's when I was mad that they would dare ask me for this shit. I was like, yo, here. When I wanted to give it, I was just giving it out. But when you needed it, fuck you. How do you dare ask me for this? And I realized that was the cycle I was creating. They only hit me when they need me. Well, you also stopped responding to them for 2 weeks. Because I go through my little loner phases, y'all. For those who don't know me, well, I don't want to talk to nobody for 2 weeks. That's usually the number, 14 days. I don't want to talk to nobody. And people will reach out to me and to check in on how I'm doing. And I would ignore them and then be mad that when I was better that they didn't reach out to me after I ignored them for 2 weeks. So that's the cycle. I feel like nobody cared about me until I realized one of my boys hit me up. Like, yo, you okay? And I was typing to him. I'm always okay. Fuck made you think I wasn't? I deleted the whole message. Because I realized that's all I ever wanted, but I just didn't know how to respond to it. And I was pushing it away, and I was creating my reality. I was making it true that people only hit me when they need me. Mind you, ignoring all the people that hit me when they didn't need me. I was enabling so many people that got mad that they needed me. When I created the lane for them to need me. I literally created it for them to need me. Hey, nah, you don't got to go to work today. Hey, I got you. all right, hey, don't do that, I got you. Hey, don't do this, I got you. And then when they needed me because it became a thing for the both of us, not just them, for me too, just giving it to them, I let them down. And I definitely think that was one of the lessons I learned. I want to say September that I learned that cycle I was creating for myself. And, that 7-8 months in, I started to now becoming self-aware. I already had the clarity happening. Stuff was clearer to me. But the self-awareness just kept getting stronger and more things started appearing. And the reason I go, I skipped the summer. The summer was a breeze for me to not drink, which in my head would have been the hardest. So once I made it through summer, I thought everything was going to be Gucci. But nope, it was the winter. By the way, y'all got to be aware of the mood swings and why self-awareness is a real big thing, a part of this. I remember though, mind you, it's not even that long ago. Winter's now. So this is, let's say, November when it starts getting cold and dark early. I remember sitting on my couch, right? And I don't know what I was emotional about that day, but for those who don't know, which none of y'all know, in the winter, I get real depressed. Like, I put myself in the most depressive state there is, and I don't like doing nothing. I don't want to talk to nobody. It gets dark early. It's cold. I don't really like it. So literally, probably the first day it gets dark early, I sit down on my couch and I'm like, I feel sad. And then I look over. I have this bar cart in my crib with like mad alcohol in it, because for my birthday, for my engagement, people and brands I work with started sending over liquor. And I looked over and I was like, holy shit. This is when I had my like fucking moment. I was like, I drank to ignore these emotions? What? Oh, man, because I looked at that right then and there, and I was like, yo, I would have drank right now. This is 100% the state I would have drank in. This sad, feel like there's nothing to do. My life is pointless. Well, not pointless, but I'm a drink. And I didn't. But just being aware of that now. And now, yo, bro, this is like the first day of winter. This is like the first cold, dark day. And I was like, I got to deal with this for the next 4 months? And that's when it got scary for me. Mind you, this is like 8-9 months in. Made it through. We here, right? A year already. But I just want to explain more of like the benefits I've been having. And, I was lost for so long and didn't realize it. I didn't realize I was lost for so long. Like, right now at this moment, y'all, the reason why I came here to talk about this is because I'm not even going to say starting. I feel like me again. Like some people are like, oh, you're removing the old you. And I feel like I'm finding that child me, that fearless me. So scared of so many things and not realizing that, was it this alcohol that was holding me back this whole time? Was it instilling fear in me? Was it instilling anxiety in me? What is it? Was all of this to blame alcohol? And for the people that be like, yo, I only drink at weekends, so I'm good. I just want to give you a little thing I learned too. If you drink Saturday, Sunday, maybe just even Saturday, and you go to work that Monday, and you feeling for the weekend to come, and you miserable at your job, your body craves it. It saw how much dopamine or that it released into your body and how happy you was that the alcohol did that. So your Monday starts and you're not drinking, but your body starts craving that happiness again. Wait, what was that release? We need that back. So it has you miserable throughout the whole week just to get back to that weekend. For those who don't know, that's how bad, and that's how bad alcohol is, that one day you do it might mess up your whole week. People don't know that the hangover lasts for 2 weeks. People don't even know that. It lasts for 2 weeks. Google it. I just came here to share this because of how I'm feeling now, a year in, and we're about to be a year in 1 month. Yay! And just the way that I feel, I was like, I need to share this. I know there's people going through this. I need to share this because I feel like me again. I'm starting to see me again. I'm starting to see the light in other people and the enjoyment they bring to me, the enjoyment I bring to people. And those 2-3 years that I was struggling with anxiety and I was struggling with drinking and depression, I feel like so many people missed out because of me, like because of how much I bring to the table. And I don't want to hear none of y'all narcissistic jokes because it's true. When you stop yourself, and this is for you, for whoever's watching, when you stop yourself from being you, you stop other people from having the opportunity of meeting you, of seeing someone in full effect. You stop the light from them. It's possible that you being you could stop somebody else from being them. I don't know if that makes sense. But you know, there's people that get inspired by seeing other people live in their fullest light and their brightest light. You know what I'm saying? So maybe you don't. But it is true. When you stop you from being you, when you stop being you, you know, people miss out on the opportunity and you let people down. And by the way, I stopped drinking for myself, and that's what changed everything too. This was all for me, and now I care much more about me. And it feels great to care about me. It feels great to be selfish. It feels great to understand that your other person's problems isn't always your problems. You know, I let so many people in a bad way. Like I let other people's problems become my problems because I wanted to take it on. You could give advice without feeling away, without feeling bad for somebody. That just makes it worse when you feel bad for somebody. And you know, so I allowed that to change. I allowed my energy to be for me. I allowed myself to be selfish and be in it. I was for so long blaming myself for so many situations. And I was just blaming me and blaming me and blaming me. And now I'll just be like, well, I do see where I was wrong. But I also see where they messed up too. And this wasn't just, my feelings weren't just in my head. My feelings weren't just, you know, like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain this new life since it's so new to me. It's so new to me, but it's so refreshing and it feels so good. You know, that I'm not caught up in the numbers no more. I'm not caught into this life that the people want to see online. I just want to be me. And if you don't like it, I don't care. Maybe I do a little bit. But I don't care for as long as I did. I let it stop me for so long. And now we here today punching, fighting. We losing weight. We in the gym. We heavy. We shooting this content. I got so many other things coming out because of how clear my mind is. I'm listening to the higher version of me. I'm not listening to that old. I feel like the old me was soggy. Like if he could be a person, he was soggy as hell. Like just drained of everything. Like just of other people's problems, other people's emotions, and ignoring his own. And now I'm becoming this light that is just shining everywhere. Like I feel like, you know, the damn sun is on the ocean and it's just, you can't even look at the water because it's too bright to look at. I feel like that's what I'm doing, man. And I'm casting that like Mufasa when he showed Simba the rest of the land. Everything the sun touches is ours. I feel like I'm that sun touching everything. Pause. That was crazy. The sun touching everything. That was crazy. I meant the S-U-N, touching land. But I know y'all see it. I know y'all can feel it, the vibrant, the energy that's coming from it. If you want to quit right now while you're watching this. Put that shit down. Throw it out. Get rid of it. Start today. It's hard, but it's worth it. It's worth becoming this version of you, the best version of you. And I do think you can be that person. I do think you will be that person. I do think if you listen to your higher mind, you know, I'm into like shit like that now, like the higher mind, like all these other thoughts wasn't me. It was a version of me I created. The real me still in there somewhere. You feel me? The real me still in there talking, but I'm listening to the version I created. It feels refreshing. It's still a lot of work going on, guys. This didn't just happen overnight. I'm still evolving. I'm still changing, but I'm still the perfect person I am right now. If you're going through this, you're still perfect the way you are right now. You're just going to change. But at this moment, you're still a perfect you. You're the best you can be at this moment. Even if it's with, you still, that's you. And you're going to change, but you always still you. And that's what's dope about it. And it's still challenging. I'm still figuring shit out. Like, just literally 4 days ago, I'll be complaining about stuff in my relationship. Oh, I want to spend quality time. I want to spend quality time. I want to spend quality time. Without booking any quality time, without saying, hey, let's go on this date. Because I realized if I complain, not that I realized, I thought if I complained about it, you're supposed to fix it. And if you don't make an effort to fix it, you don't care enough about me. And I realized that's not true. If I said, hey, babe, let's go on this date, she's going to be excited and want to come too, and I'm going to feel welcome. But I was in so much fear of rejection, and I still live in that fear that I was stopping and sabotaging my whole life. And I do think without drinking, this is how I was able to discover these new versions of me. I do think drinking suppressed every version of me and the light of me, and now I'm here becoming me. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm so sober now that the other day I smiled and I noticed my tooth was missing. I was like, damn, that shit been that bad for that long? I didn't even noticed that. So yeah, it also gave me an insecurity being sober. It gives you insecurities, but it gives you, you don't want to complain about it no more. You just want to fix them. Like, I'm tired of complaining about it and fix them. Even, I used to get mad that Maleni used to pencil me in. Like, oh, I'm going to schedule you in for this date, right? And I spoke to one of my mans the other day. He's like, yeah, but she shouldn't do that. But I was like, it's like a win-win situation. If she needs that for herself and her, because Maleni moves a lot and stuff, and I still get what I want, the date, why do I care how it happens? All I want is that. If I'm experienced, I'm literally going to sabotage my happiness because of the way they moved? Nah, you got to move the way you move, man. Fix it. And you control this stuff. And it's dope because by the time this comes out, I'm already be in go mode. I feel like April is the new year for me. I always thought April was a new year. And I'm going to be in my new year, my resolutions, and I'm going to be just creating and doing what I want to do that makes me happy, following my highest thoughts. And, well, that was my speech. I hope you guys got something from it, and if you didn't, fuck you. Nah. Nah, I'm not going to say that. I love you guys. I hope you guys, on the right path. I hope you guys get something from this. Anything, even if you don't drink, I just hope you get some type of life, some type of spark, because that's what I'm here for now. If you guys have any stories you want to share for me, even advice, I'll be answering the advice if you're looking for advice, I'll be answering in my DMs. Just DM me. DM me. Word. Thank you guys for listening. Peace out. Check me out everywhere. Chicklet.hf on all platforms. I'm so happy. You guys make me happy.